Hello again. Today we are going to learn all about the Byzantine Empire. There are some essential things that you need to know, so hopefully this presentation will help you learn about the importance of the location of Constantinople. You will also find out about the Emperor Justinian and why he was important. In addition to that, you will learn about Byzantine culture, the important role of the Eastern Orthodox Church, and lastly we will find out how the Byzantine Empire influenced Russia. There's an awful lot of things for us to learn about today, don't you think?
The Golden Age of Rome began more than 2,000 years ago. In 27 BC, Augustus Caesar came to power. His reign launched the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, a 200-year period when the Roman Empire enjoyed unparalleled peace and prosperity. During this time, the Roman fleet patrolled the seas, protecting merchant ships, while Roman legions expanded the empire and guarded its borders. Grain, gold, exotic animals, and other riches flooded into Rome from the foreign lands it had conquered. These goods brought luxury to the very wealthy, but Rome also had huge numbers of poor people. To keep them happy, the emperors gave the people of Rome bread and circuses, which were free food for the poor, and lavish entertainment for all to keep the masses content. Aided by the invention of aqueducts and sewage systems, the city of Rome grew to house 1 million people, an unheard of number for the time. Life for Roman citizens was never better. Temples, theaters, arenas, baths, and public spaces spread throughout the empire. Citizenship and equality under the law were extended to all free people living in the provinces outside Italy. Roman culture, the Latin language, common coinage, and Roman law spread throughout the empire. But when Emperor Marcus Aurelius died in AD 180, the golden age of Rome came to an end. Power struggles, social and economic problems, and the sheer size of the empire contributed to strife both in Rome and on its frontiers. In 284, the Emperor Diocletian took steps to regain control. To make the empire easier to rule, he split it into two parts. From Asia Minor, Diocletian retained control of the wealthier eastern part. He appointed a co-emperor to rule the western portion from Rome. His reforms worked in the short term, but after he retired, political infighting rocked the empire. In 312, a general named Constantine gained control and became emperor. Constantine moved the empire's capital away from Rome. Built on the ruins of the ancient Greek city of Byzantium, the new capital of Constantinople was located on a major trade route between Europe and Asia. Over the next centuries, Constantinople became the center of Roman power, while Rome and the Western Empire grew weaker. Constantine further shook the empire by legalizing Christianity in 313 and becoming the first Christian emperor. Christians had once been persecuted. Now the empire was Christianity's protector. Constantinople became a great city, a religious center, one of Europe's busiest marketplaces, and a melting pot of Eastern and Western cultures. While cities in the Western Roman Empire were crumbling, the Eastern Empire prospered and preserved the heritage and traditions of Rome. In the late 400s, a series of attacks by Germanic tribes led to the collapse of Rome and the Western Empire. But the Eastern Empire, which came to be called the Byzantine Empire, thrived. Here, Christian religion, Greek art, science, and philosophy, and Roman engineering and law blended with Persian, Egyptian, and other influences to create a unique Byzantine culture. Merchants, scholars, and missionaries from Byzantium traveled throughout the empire, spreading Christianity and Byzantine art, architecture, and ideas to new parts of the world. Although Byzantium was pillaged by crusaders from the west and eventually fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453, the empire had ensured that the ancient Roman traditions and ideas that it was built on survived and flourished elsewhere, long after the fall of Byzantium.
Was very important to the development of the Byzantine Empire. When Constantine rebuilt the ancient city of Byzantium, he knew that the geography was perfectly suited to make it the capital of the Roman Empire. Basically, Constantinople was situated so that the empire would have protection of the eastern frontier. It was a long way from the barbarian and Germanic invasions that were causing trouble to the Western Empire, and it was at a very important crossroads for trade. But, more importantly, Constantinople as a city was easily fortified. It stood on a peninsula that bordered a natural harbor. It was a great location. Constantinople played a very important historical role. It was the seat of the Byzantine Empire right up until its conquest by the Ottomans. Because it lasted so long, it was able to preserve classical Greek and Roman culture that would otherwise have been lost. Without this preservation, our modern-day ideals and values would be very different. Constantinople was also the site of the first organized meeting of Christian bishops, the Council of Nicaea, in 325 AD. It was here that the Gospels of the New Testament were agreed, and the ideas and core beliefs of Christians was set. This was to have a massive impact on historical events for the next 1700 years up to the present day.